ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this 185th episode of the Political Spotlight. I am your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey. I am so glad to be talking with you all this evening, and I am happy that you're here giving me a little bit of your time. As always, Kate is down in the duck, spinning around in her chair, doing, I don't even know what she's doing. Looks like she's reorganizing the shoe rack behind her or something like that. That is exactly, I think, what she's doing. She's giving me the thumbs up. So she's doing what she does down in the duck. We are all here to have a communication and talk about things going on in our neck of the woods, politically speaking. But for those of you that are not right where I live, never fear, because the things that we talk about can affect you, and you can apply exactly what we talk about to your area as well. Yes, certain laws might be different, and the titles and the names and various things might be different from state to state, but the overall principle is the same. And so for being here, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you do us a brief favor. And if you're on YouTube, we ask that you do the YouTube-like things. Go through and hit that like button, smash the subscribe button, hit the bell so you stay up to date when we go live. If you are here live and in real time, please communicate with us over here in the chat box. If you're watching this at your own convenience, then comment down below in the comment section. We will get back to you one way or the other. And above all else, share the show with everyone you know. All right, folks. So here's the thing. We want to, I didn't know. Out of last night's episode, I really didn't know what exactly we were going to be talking about tonight. I didn't know exactly what it was going to be. However, after the day that I have had dealing with just absolute, complete imbeciles, I have decided that we need to have a serious talk about common sense and about will and the willingness to understand and comprehend information. And so we're going to kind of be dissecting a little bit of what we talked about last night at the end of the show. And then applying it to what's happened today. We're also going to be looking at some emails. I've sent out some emails. I've got back some emails. So I've saved all of those for all of you. And we're going to be looking at those in real time tonight. So that's always fun. So we got an interesting show. Please, please, please interact with us. Let us know what you're thinking, and talk to us about whatever is on your mind. As always, we want to take a look at some of the quotes that our amazing audience has brought to us. And it's Big Alva from Louisiana coming in with, "If you are not willing to risk the unusual, you will have to settle for the ordinary." I like that quote. That's a nice quote. And then Julie is coming in with, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." And of course, that's coming in from the always amazing Winston Churchill. Sir Winston Churchill, watch out, he might pee on you. All right. So let's see here what we've got. going on? Of course, Catherine is chatting away in the comment box. That's about par for the course. If you have the records from Graham, we have to do lunch. Oh, I don't know. I won't have them that soon. I've sent in the complaint to Luke. I didn't actually get to speak to him. I'm hoping to be able to talk with him tomorrow. But in the complaint I filled out to send in to Luke, I basically, let me see if I have my rough draft. Okay, well, let's do this. Let's do this first. First of all, hello, Troy. Troy is back at home. Welcome home. Welcome home. I started to say this last night, I think. I don't think that I actually got all the way through this. I started to say this last night, so I'm gonna say this. I started to tell the story, but then something happened, and as generally happens, I got off topic, and we never came back to it. So when I started broadcasting, I didn't know this is what I was going to be doing. This was kind of the means to an end for a moment, and then it turned into something else. So in order to try and stick it to the mayor at the time, Sean Byram, who was running for state representative at the time, I wanted to attempt to get him to come on and talk to me person to person on a old program that I used to broadcast. And I figured that the only way I would be able to do that was if I got everybody else to come on and say that they would come on with me first. So I knew that back in 2018 that Winchester wouldn't be doing any kind of community meet and greets or debates or yada, yada, yada. So I decided all on my lonesome to reach out to the various candidates and ask if they would be willing to come on and do an interview with me. And some of them were a little hesitant. They didn't know who I was. They thought, I don't know. And some of them said, yeah, absolutely. No problem. No harm, no foul. You tell me when and I'll be there. And so I thought that was very interesting. Sean ended up not coming on, and we got in a really big argument about that. And matter of fact, that was the text message when, in just a twist of fate, he said something to the effect of, I said that, he was wrong. He said I was wrong, and we went back and forth. And I said, well, that's just your perception. And I said, that's just your perception to him. And he shot back to me, no, that's your perception, and your perception is not reality. And from that conversation was born the title of my very first program, Perception is Reality, yada, yada, yada. The rest is history. When I came to Muncie, moved back to Muncie in 2019, I was still kind of lost in what I was. I didn't know if I was a journalist, if I was an investigative journalist. I didn't know what exactly I did and what I was doing. So I, again, reached out in March, April of that primary season and asked all of the candidates if they wanted to interview with me. And of course they said yes. And that just gave me a bigger platform. It gave me a bigger audience. And I interviewed everyone, even the people that I didn't agree with, people, whatever. But I was chalking it up to, these interviews aren't for me. They're for the public. They're, yada, yada, yada. It was sometime after that I realized I am not a journalist. I am a political commentator. I have an agenda. I push an agenda. I'm clear about my agenda. So there's no gray area. I don't make it confusing for anybody. Yes, we break news. Yes, I give you news, factual information. Yes, there is a journalistic approach to what goes on here. Yes, we probably I know for a fact because of legalities that we fall into the overall umbrella of media personalities, yada yada yada. But I consider myself a political commentator. I've said that. I've been very up close, very upfront about that. I have been closed off to the idea of being a journalist, yada yada yada. Okay, so that's the thing there. Absolutely no questions asked. That's how I look at it. And some people disagree with me. Some people get mad at me for that. Some people say they disagree with what I'm saying. And I'm like, oh, it's okay. You don't have to agree with me. That's just who I am. Okay. So ever since that 2019 candidate interviews that I did with everyone, every election, people say, are you going to do the candidate interviews again? And I always begrudgingly do them. I hate candidate interviews. I love interviewing people. I love talking to people. I like bringing people on and having people's ideas and their thoughts. I hate the candidate interviews. Because when I pull a candidate on and I talk to a candidate about something that's going on, and we have them on in a long standing format where we're just communicating, you actually get to hear that person for who they are. When I do candidate interviews, and I ask these people the same dreadful questions, they're on their best behavior. They're coming forward and they're saying, yes, I like transparency. I'm going to make communication a top priority. And it's a bunch of bullshit. You're not actually getting these people the reality of who these people are. It's much better to get people just open, free, and talking. It's kind of like watching a boring job interview between two people or listening to a Joe Rogan podcast. When you've got two people talking, just talking and carrying on a conversation, it's much easier to determine who these people are and really get to the crux of who they are, rather than when it's a canned interview. So after the last round of candidate interviews, when it felt like I was trying to drag people on, and then what happens is when people decide they don't want to come on or they're afraid to come on because their party doesn't like it, then my detractors get to say things like, oh, well, look, and they don't want to come on because they know that's the kiss it. No, listen, it's not that. It's that they know that they're so afraid they're going to get their ass chewed by Ed Carroll or by Anna Quirk or this or that, or and so they're playing this nonsensical tightrope act, and it's really crazy. So I decided that I was not doing candidate interviews. Pause. That does not mean that I will not give the floor and have people on that, number one, interest me, that I think would interest you all, and that would have good information to get out. So, for example, I had no problem having Catherine on multiple times. I plan to have her on later this week. We're going to have her on and have her on as much as she wants to come on. I've got no problem giving the floor to give Troy a chance to come on. I've talked to people in the Brand camp and have offered an opportunity for Brand to come on. I've had Ryan Webb on. I have no problem having him come on. Now, I'm not saying that I wouldn't interview Bradley Bookout. If Bradley Bookout wants to come on, if Bradley Bookout would be willing to come on, I would love for him to come on. But I'm going to ask him serious questions. I'm not going to give him the questions ahead of time. I'm not going to pull the punches. And I'm going to ask him things that are relevant to what's going on. I would love to talk to Ed Carroll. I would love to talk to Dan Ridenauer. I would love to have on John Sproles. The first, middle, last, only question to Sproles is, what in the hell are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah, like Kate said, hello, Mr. Bookout. Are you a paper candidate? So I am going to do I'm not going to call them candidate interviews. I'm going to bring on folks that interest me and folks that I think would interest you. I want to have Troy on, and Troy is willing to, if Troy is willing to come on from wherever he's at, I'm willing to have him on from wherever he's at. He can come on live from the southeastern Ingram bunker out at the reservoir, or he can come on from Talladega or his house or wherever he's at. Does not bother me. Doesn't bother me if he's taking a little bit of a drink while he's on. Some people have commented in the past that they've been a little bothered by that. I don't care whatsoever. I have no problem having Brand on. I would have King on if King wants to come, as long as he's willing to answer the questions that I have for him. I would have him on, but I'm not just going to bring on, okay, this is the stiff candidate interview that sucks. Nobody really likes. We don't really learn anything from them. You know what I mean? So I'm just not doing that. Yeah, Alva, that would not be a fair question for the sheriff of Henry County. It's a trick question. He has no idea what he's doing. I want to show you guys before we get into the main topic of tonight's show, and I'm going to go back and hit some of your questions. I noticed that you guys have some. Give me just 1 second. Hold on a second. I'm getting a real-time message. Someone's giving me important information as we speak. Okay. I want to show you something before we get into the hot and heavy portion of the story here. It relates to our sheriff buddy down in Henry County. Where in the heck? Oh, right here it is. Look what someone sent me today. This person sent me this. This is real. This is a real, true life picture from Henry County today. someone put this up in their yard in Henry County. Fire Beanbag Johnny. And I don't know. I mean, now that is someone after the heart of Betty Ashley. This is, I love it. I absolutely love this. This is the best way. Everybody in Henry County needs to do this. Anywhere Sproles goes, he needs to see these homemade signs, people letting him know, we do not want you here. All right. You should make that a screensaver. All right. Okay, so now I want to go back to let me hit some of your comments here. Just briefly. I see there's some comments going on here. Oh my God. Timing issues was early today. They had to leave to come back in 10 minutes. Thank you. I'm glad for that. Let's see here. Kate has been my therapist today, Catherine said. I think everyone should run for an office at least once. Woo! Let me come back to answer the question about the records from Graham. So we will go there. Last night at the very end of the show. So if you did not stick around for the very end of the show last night, I revealed that I received a response back from the attorney in Madison County who said that my record request for the public documents generated on March 26th by the election board of the election machines, the voting machines, those documents are public documents. They should be public documents. They should have been able to be videoed and taken pictures of by Rebecca Crooms. They stopped her. I was told to request them. And then I was told that as soon as I requested them, or as soon as anyone requested them, that they would be denied. So I said, okay, well, I'm your Huckleberry. I went ahead and I requested the documents. Guess what? On the 19th of April, I was denied. Well, what the attorney, what Linda Smith, what Russ Willis either doesn't know or doesn't care is I had spoke with Luke Britt the day after the test. And Luke Britt said, yes, those are public documents. Yes, they must give them to you. No, they should not have stopped Rebecca Crooms from videoing. She had every right to video, to take pictures, and to disseminate that on social media or however she wanted to.
If they watched this show, they would know that, though.
Who would?
The idiots in Madison County.
Oh, yeah.
You talked about your conversation with Mr. Britt.
Absolutely.
Now, Catherine is throwing down. She's doubling down. She's saying double or nothing. So
I'm going to take some money. I'm going to hate it, but I'm going to take some money from some people in Madison County, because at this point it's not up to Russ. It's not up to Linda. It's not up to those people. At this point, it's out of their hands. It's not up to Graham. So when I talked to Luke Britt, he said, yes, these are public documents. Rebecca should have pushed more. And I was like, I hate that I wasn't there. I would have, yada, yada, yada. So I told Russ, or I tried to tell Russ this, but he wouldn't listen and he hung up on me. You can hear that phone call. You can hear everything he tells me. And so I told Luke, they're telling me that they want me to request these so they can deny me. And he said, as soon as they deny you, send me in a complaint. So, ladies and gentlemen, I sent in a complaint today to the public access counselor. This was my rough draft. I typed
I
it
know
up
you're not
after
paying attention. Rebecca is on tonight.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Rebecca. I'm glad that you're here. Oh, yes. And I mentioned you. I mentioned you in this, Rebecca. So I filed this complaint, and I filed this complaint against the Madison County Clerk's Office, the Madison County Election Board, and the Madison County Attorney's Office. I filed the complaint against Linda Smith, clerk, Russ Willis, Election Board President, and Jeff Graham, Madison County Attorney. I said that the violations occurred on March 26th and April 19th, 2024. And this is the following. This is the following complaint. Jesus. This is the following complaint. Ooh, that was scary. Yes, she did. She did. I love Rebecca, and Rebecca did a damn good job. I love Rebecca. She did a fantastic job. Here's the complaint. On March 26, 2024, Madison County Election Board held a public meeting for the public test to be performed in front of the public during a public meeting in a public building. The public test was of the voting machines that were to be used during the primary election of the 2024 primary. During the test, several different documents were either used and or produced. Receipts along with other documents that are all detailed in video and in still pictures, which will be available to the public access counselor, were made that day showing the outcome of the public test. They were compiled by members of the election board, and a citizen and former elected official and current candidate, Rebecca Crooms, was in attendance at the meeting. She was live streaming, videoing the meeting, and she attempted to take video and or pictures of the said documents. However, she was yelled at and told to stop videoing or taking pictures by Russ Willis, the election board president, and by Linda Smith, the Madison County clerk. And she was also admonished by the county attorney, Jeffrey Graham. She was told that she could only view these documents with her eyes, but that she could not take pictures or videos of the said documents. Miss Crooms protested multiple times, reminding these folks that these were public documents, as well as other citizens there grumbled the same, but the outcome remained the same. Miss Crooms was unable to get accurate video or picture evidence of the public documents. A day later, I spoke with Russ Willis and told him that I wanted to see copies of all of the public records. And in a video recorded phone call, Russ told me that in order for anything to happen with the record request, I would need to submit a formal request, which I told him I would do, and he told me that that request would promptly be denied. What Mr. Willis did not know at that time was earlier in the day, I had had a conversation with the public access counselor, Luke Britt. Mr. Britt advised that all of these documents, all of the receipts, and basically any other paper that was used in that said meeting that day would be considered a public document and would be allowed to be inspected, looked over, videoed, taken pictures of, or request copies of. On March 29th, 2024, I filled out a formal records request under Indiana law and submitted that to Linda Smith, the Madison County Clerk, and to the Madison County Attorney Jeffrey Graham. On April 19th, I was denied the records, and I am now on the 22nd of April, 2024, submitting a complaint to the public access counselor for review, opinion, and so that I and others may have access to these records. As evidence, you will have the video of the public meeting from March 26th. You will have the phone call between myself and Russ Willis. You will have the email of my request, and you will have the email of the denial, and you will have the email that Russ Willis sent back after the denial stating that the attorney's ruling was excellent, all in capital letters. I hope that the public access counselor rules on this quickly. This is for the betterment of the citizens' understanding of government in the local Anderson, Madison County, and East Central Indiana communities. And this is okay. The rest of it's nonsense. So yeah, that's more or less my my request. I submitted that to the public access counselor this afternoon, and I'm hoping to give him a call and talk with him directly. I'm hoping to talk with him directly tomorrow and find out what he says is going to happen there. I think that would be fantastic. So I will let you guys know what happens with that. Yeah, timing issues. Hell yeah. Anytime you want to come on, we'll find out a way. You can either come on as yourself, or we can like obscure your image. We'll give you a really high-pitched voice. That's hilarious. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see here. Want to okay. There's Rebecca. Yeah, I see that. Look here, I'm looking. I want to answer this question up here real quick. Let me find out where this question is. Charlize has asked, has Sproles addressed the high-speed chase in Muncie by Henry County deputy? It wasn't actually even deputies. It was just one deputy, while two other deputies drove aimlessly lost around the city trying to catch up with them. So essentially what you had on the day of the accident was you had one deputy chasing the car. Meanwhile, you had two other deputies driving elsewhere around the city of Muncie at high speeds, running lights and sirens, which is also a dangerous situation, trying to catch up with a driver that they had no idea where he was at. So it was complete chaos. And Sproles, to my knowledge, has not released a statement. Let me look and see. No one has missed any kind of press release from the sheriff. To my knowledge, the sheriff has not put out. I'm looking on it. No. On the sheriff's page, on one of the sheriff's pages, the last thing put out was on April 19th. Congratulations are in order. And then below that, on Wednesday, the 17th, he put on the an obituary for an individual. So yeah, there's no statement that has been given reference the high-speed pursuit by his deputy. So I keep pushing him for that. We keep looking for that. Someone said that Fox 59 ran a story today on it. They're supposed to be releasing an expose on Sproles at some point, but I need to reach back out and find out what's going on. I haven't heard anything in quite some time, so I don't really know what's going on, but I guess time will tell. Okay, now next, moving on. I want to talk about the situation with James King. This blows my mind. After last night's video, I went back and I cut the video down and I made a 5-minute long, it's 5 minute short. I made a 5-minute short video. It covers all of the bases really quickly, but really easily, and it makes it very clear. James King collected money on March 2nd at a bowling fundraiser. The money that he collected was in the tune of $17,444.80. 17,444 and 80 cents. James King posted that amount of money. He put it up for all to see in his campaign finance form that was due to the clerk's office by noon on Friday the 19th. These are things that we cannot get around. These are absolute truths. The truth is, this report was due on the 19th. Check. It is important to understand. I'm going to show you this here real quick. I'm going to pull up a blank form, and I'm going to show this for everyone that has a hard time understanding what's actually dealing with CFA 4. For everybody that's having a hard time understanding. I want to pull this up so people can really wrap their minds around this, because I think that people are having a hard time understanding this. This is not about the 17,444. It is not about the amount. I have people literally telling me, I want to show you this real quick. I have people that are literally telling me that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, that I am grasping at straws because I am completely wrong in my analysis of this. All right? Let me show you right here. Okay? Right here, I made this post to go along with it last night. This is what I said. So I'm not sure what the committee to reelect James King is trying to pull, but their campaign finance report that was filed on Friday, April 19th, 2024 is definitely looks questionable. Here's why. The committee has filed a report stating they received $17,444.80 during one bowling fundraiser on March 2nd, 2024. Now, as soon as we say that, people in the audience and other people around started saying, "Oh my God, that's a lot of money." And I'm saying, no. Don't lose your mind over that. That's possible to be getting during these fundraisers. You get people that donate large amounts of money. Now, that's normally an amount that I would be looking for if we were looking at maybe a countywide judge candidate, or say a statewide office holder on like a golf outing. That's a little high for bowling, but it's not impossible. It is possible. And that's not what my issue is with. All right, I go on. And now I know some of you might say, wow, 17,444, that's a lot. No way. But listen, it's not the amount that is the problem. It is possible to raise large amounts like that during fundraisers. Now, generally, an amount that large would be from a golf tournament or something, but let's roll with the fact that he is claiming he received $17,444.80 from his March 2nd bowling fundraiser. Let's say that that is factual. The law says anytime a person or a business or another committee to elect or a political action committee gives James or any other candidate money for their election or re-election bid, it has to be itemized if and or when it is over $100. So if you walk into a campaign event and you give a candidate that you're supporting $50, they do not have to itemize and list your name. They can just put that in the kitty with everything else. If you walk into that event and you give them $500 cash, they have to have your name, your address, and your occupation. If you write them a check for $1,000, they have to have your name, your address, and your occupation. That's just how it is. It's been that way forever. And I'll show you here in a minute. I go on in my writing and said, so that means if somebody donates $100 or $150 or $250 or $500 or $1,000 or $5,000 or anything over $100, then that person business committee must be itemized like so. And then I give an example. Name, John Doe. Address, 1234 East Main Street. Occupation, engineer. Then they have to list if it was a direct donation, meaning money, cash, or check, or if it was an in-kind donation, meaning like they donated space to have an event, which they would normally charge $200 for the space, but they didn't make King pay, but they just donated him the space. You still got to count that money, but it would be in kind. Okay. Then they mark down where it was given or for what it was given. It was given at a bowling event, and it was given for signs to be purchased, or yada, yada, yada. Then they list how much the donation was, meaning if I give my candidate money on March 2nd and I give them $500, they have to write down Kristopher Bilbrey, March 2nd, $500. Then, if a week later I turn around and I give that person another 150, now they have to total that up in the last category, and they will put that Kristopher Bilbrey gave 500, and then a week later, Kristopher Bilbrey gave 150, and year to date, Kristopher Bilbrey has given $650. Lastly, they would need to list the date given and who collected it, like the candidate. The other way is different than that. Let's say that the committee to elect Amber Green puts a jar out at an event and they mark on it donations. And by the end of the event, $58 in coins and 20s and 1s and 5s and 10s have been thrown in the jar. She can count all that money out, and if it comes to 50, if it comes to under 99 or under, then she can just say, I got all this money and I don't know where it came from. It's all on there. Ta-da. Okay. See how it goes? That would be unitemized. The other would be itemized. That would be unitemized. So back to King's report. For James to list that he received $17,444.80 the way that he has it listed, it would mean that James and or his campaign expects the citizens of Delaware County to believe that either one of these happened. Either someone walked in and gave him $17,444.80 in one lump sum, and he's not wanting to tell or whatever, or he put in money or whatever, or the people that came in all donated to him under the amount of $99, and so he didn't need to itemize any of it. That is the part that is simply not believable. To make it as easy as possible, what it would mean is that 177 people would have had to have attended his bowling event. And of those 177 people, 176 of them would have given him $99 each under the $100 threshold. And then one person, the last person, would have given him $20. And that, my friends, would equal that $17,444.80 number. 176 donations of $99 plus one donation of $20 adds up to the unitemized $17,444.80. And that nonsense is what would need to have happened for King to file the campaign finance in the manner in which he did. You can see it yourself below. Then 19 days later, when he held a meet and greet fundraiser, he made a total of $134.63, which, now listen, that's believable. I've got nothing to say about that. 13 people showed up and gave him $100 each. That's doable. A 14th person pulled up right at the end and gave him $4.63. And that would make that doable. That is, I'm okay with it. I don't think it happened, but, you know, I'm willing to play devil's advocate on that. But there is no way in hell that the figure that is in the first box is right. There's just no way. It's not the amount. It's how he's doing it. But that's just par for the course with James King and company. This is why king needs to be unelected. This is right up there with the Redevelopment Commission mailer and the Citizens for Transparency being headed by Bill Walters and using the number that's attached to the nonprofit, and Bill Walters running King's committee to re-elect and using the number for the nonprofit, and all of the other shady shit that they be doing to keep the power. I then said, if you want to hear more about this, click the following link. It's a 5-minute video. You can go and listen to it. It's quick. All right. And then almost instantly, folks, almost instantly, I start getting comments like this. I don't know King or Brand. I had bowling fundraisers when I ran for office 28 years ago, 18-lane bowling alley and 2 shifts. Very easy to raise that kind of money. You are really grabbing at straws with this one. John Raines, are you not listening? Can you not comprehend the words that you are reading or the words that you're hearing? I am not complaining about the total amount of money. I am complaining that he, James King, and or his committee did not follow the law. I just don't understand how anyone could listen to what I've said and come to the conclusion that Raines has there. I want to show you guys something. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the blank form. This is the blank CFA 4 Schedule A1 contributions by individual that King and his committee filled out. Do you see this box right up here at the top that says instructions? I'm going to blow this up so you can see it's much easier. See it right there? I'm going to read this to you. Instructions: list only contributions by individuals on this schedule. Please type or print legibly in black ink all information on this schedule. Okay, put it in black ink or type it. For assistance in completing this schedule, see instructions on the reverse side. This schedule is used to document contributions and receipts totaled on item 15A of the higher form of the summary sheet. All cumulative contributions from individuals over $100 per contributor within a calendar year must be itemized. Right here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Right here it is. All cumulative contributions from individuals over $100 per contributor within a calendar year must be itemized on this schedule. That's that right there.
You missed it because he had a sign just like this on the door when he was doing his thing.
Yep.
Here you go.
Yep. Welcome to my campaign fundraiser. No donations over 99 will be accepted because I don't want to itemize my CFA 4. Thank you. Vote for Kate. Absolutely.
That's what happened, and you just missed it.
Yep. That would be the way to. Now, listen, I probably missed it because I don't go to these god-awful events. So you're probably right. But Cindy, listen, I don't get it. Like, I asked this guy that was giving me crap. I said, dude, did you only read every other fourth word? I'm not talking about the amount of money made. I'm talking about the fact that he and everyone else by law has to itemize where the money came from. Let me ask it like this. When you ran and when you made close to 17 grand, was that all from one person or would that be from multiple people? You know, this is common sense. Unless you're just completely unwilling to admit, yeah, they messed up here. Why can they not just say, you know what, I messed up. Let me make an amended form. I'll be up there Wednesday with the amended form. It's going to take me a couple days. Let me figure it out, and I'll be up there. John Raines then says, entry fees, raffles, items donated, 50-50 drawings, lane sponsors was the most. Don't recall any actual donation over $100 at the fundraiser. Then what were you running for? Where were you running? Because I don't believe that, man. I don't believe that.
What were you taking sponsorships at $100 and under?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, what was going on there? He says, your obsession is obvious. I think you're on King and Orto on Psycho is not healthy, which I guess he's talking about me on King and Chris Orto on Web. I do not comment on James King nearly as much as Orto comments on Web, first and foremost. King is just one in many elected officials that I go after. And this just blows my mind. It's literally like these people are missing, or they're missing it on purpose. They are unwilling. They're unwilling to stop and think. They just choose not to. I said, John Raines, you're full of shit, dude. I have an obsession with elected officials not doing the right thing. I like how you're unwilling to speak to the fact that King filed his report improperly. That's what kills me. All day long, I've just been trying to get the King puppets, Mike Jones and a few others, I've been trying to get them to just say, yeah, King can make a mistake. I was going crazy. I was like, Mike Jones, answer the question. Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right, Mike Jones. Everything that you've ever said about me is right. 1,000%. Everything you have ever said about me is right, straight to the T. I can't even, I don't even know how to say. Yes, you are 1,000% correct, Mike. I get it. Everything you've ever said. I'm a crazed criminal. I'm on drugs. We're all outlaws. We're a team. We're not a team. We're getting closer. We're distancing ourselves. I live in a basement. I live upstairs. I'm a failed podcaster. I don't have a job. I'm a pervert.
No, you're a failed
Pausecaster, because they think that's funny for some unknown reason. So stupid. Whatever you want to say, you're right, sister. You got it. Now that we got that all behind, now answer the question. How do you justify the unitemized $17,480 17,444.80. How do you justify that? Don't come at me with some other thing. Don't, because everything you're saying, you're right. You're right about everything. Now it's time to answer the question. You know what he said to me? If you think there's a problem, take it to the election board. Let's see how that works out for you. So it's almost like he's doing the dare thing, like saying, yes, take it out there and see how that, because he knows they're not going to do anything. He knows they're corrupt, they're dirty. I don't understand people who think like this. Someone else said, let me pull this up. Somebody else said, let me see this. Oh, right here. Madonna High. Oh, yeah, that's a real name. I'm glad that's a real name. Madonna High said, well, it looks like we can tell that that Brand must be losing. Ho, ho, ho. Look at that. Brand must be losing. And I was like, why? I don't know if he's losing or not. I don't know if he's winning. That does not have anything to do with the fact that James King filled out his form wrong. Can you not just admit, yeah, maybe Brand's losing? King still did something wrong. I said, what do these things have to do with anything? She said, well, you don't equally look at people. Show me your review of Brandon Webb. Okay, I will. As soon as I get those documents, I've requested them. And you better believe the minute that I get Brand's and Webb's and everybody else's, I'm going to put it all out there, sheet by sheet by sheet.
The irony is a lot of these people are the same people who are, we need to get Trump into office. We need term limits. We need this. We need that at the national level. Drain the swamp. And then they vote for this shit year after year after year on a local level.
I know,
Do
man.
you not understand that the shit happening here affects you more than what's going on in DC? And it's the same fucking swamp.
I know. It blows me away. It blows me away. It honestly is. It's like psychosis. The swamp starts at home. It's yeah. I can't comprehend it. And it's like arguing with a toddler. It's like seriously, explaining to if I'm trying to think. If Amber Green put out her signs and didn't have her disclaimers on them, first and foremost, If Amber Green would have sent me her sign logos, matter of fact, she did. And when she sent me her signs ahead of time and said, "What do you think of these?" I was like, "Yeah, they look good." Had she sent them to me, if I would have noticed that she did not have the disclaimer on there, I would have said, "Whoa, hey, hold on. You need to get the disclaimer on here." And she would have been like, "Oh, but do I really? That's going to cost me extra money." I would have said, "Yes, you cannot put these out without a disclaimer." Now, if she had not shown them to me ahead of time, and if she had put them out, and if I had learned at some point through the campaign, hey, she doesn't have her disclaimer on these, number one, I would go to her and I would give her the courtesy. I wouldn't put her on blast. I would go to her and say, "Hey, you need to fix this." If she fixed it, that would be that. If she didn't, well, then I would have to go after her for that. I would have to go after her for that. I don't have a problem calling out people on my own side. Listen, there are things that I have an issue with Brand about. There are things that I'm not going to like that Brand does. There are things that Brand is going to do that I'm sure I will call out. There are things that Matt Kantz does that I don't agree with. How many times have you guys heard me say things about Matt Kantz? I'll call him out for his shit. Isn't James King wearing his police uniform in his campaign materials? Isn't that also illegal? It's very questionable. It's very questionable. Let me show you something else that James is doing that I think is very, very sleazy. Very, very kind of, I want you guys to look at something. And I was going to show you this last night, but we ran out of time. I held off. This is something that came out a while back, but I held off on this because I didn't want to bring more attention to it than what it already had. I didn't want to make it like, oh, look, I didn't want to be advertising for him. Now that it's been several weeks and we're 14 days until the election, I can put this up and let you guys see it. It doesn't matter. But I want to show you how gross this is. I'm going to put this up on the screen. Kate, come up here real quick. I want to ask you a question, but I want to put this up. I want to ask the question, and I want the audience to have a chance to answer before you do, but I want you to answer too. So I'm going to ask the question, and the question is, just seeing this image that I put up, what does it make you think in your mind? Don't answer yet, Kate, but I want everyone else to. Seeing this image without knowing any other background, seeing this image of this guy standing right there, what does that make you see? What does that make you, audience? What does that make you see? And I want to know what Niles thinks.
Who's that?
Don't answer the question. What does that picture make
don't
you
answer
think?
it just
Don't
yet,
answer.
but just think about it. I want to see what the audience says, and then I want Niles to answer before Kate does. And I want to see what Niles says.
Who is it?
Come on, people. Come on, people. Seeing this guy out here, what do you think this looks like? They're cheating because they've got a little, they're like 2-on-1.
They've got husband, wife team there. All the rest of you are wherever you are. Looks like he's going to blow himself up. Okay. All right. Okay. Jesus. All right. What do you guys think that looks like? The Kate and Niles team. What do you think that looks like?
An Aussie hanging out in his backyard.
Okay, that's hilarious.
I think you had to think to come up with an answer that wasn't.
Maybe a terrorist. All right, this is going completely wrong from where I thought people would go. Okay, so let me tell you what untrained. Okay, Ryan says guy is a journalist, maybe. That's good, and he's kind of going in where a lot of other people thought. Let me tell you what a lot of people thought when they first saw this. A lot of people, when they first saw this image and they saw this video that I'm getting ready to play, a lot of people thought that this was some kind of like operator or somebody over in like Afghanistan or some fucking place, like some kind of military op guy that's out there doing some shit is what
Niles said he's not wearing a pistol.
Thought. Well, yeah. So that's the thing. He doesn't have a gun. He doesn't have he doesn't have any kind. He's not wearing. He doesn't have any kind of patches or whatever. But to the untrained eye, someone who doesn't pick up on that kind of shit or doesn't see, a lot of people that brought this to my attention thought that this was some kind of military person. Okay. Now, I want you to listen to this. I want you to listen to what you hear. Okay. Listen to this. Oops. It's muted. Hold on. Still muted. What the hell?
Politicians. That's why I'm.
Okay, listen.
Hi, I'm Justin Melnick, and you all know how much I dislike politicians. That's why I'm endorsing James King for county commissioner, because he is not a politician. He is a law enforcement officer, a role model, and one of the most incredible human beings I've ever met. So please vote for James King.
Oh, he does have a gun. He does have a gun hanging off of him.
Because he is not a politician. He
right
is a
there.
Law enforcement officer, a role model, and one of the most incredible human beings I've ever met. So please vote for James King.
Okay. So, again, a lot of people who first saw this thought that this was some kind of military operative or something, somebody, CIA or some shit that's giving this, you know, he's risking his life, making us safe. He's over there in the sandbox doing what serious people do and really shooting and taking you know, taking one for the team and putting his life in danger. And he's over there and he knows what a true hero is. And James King is not a politician. He's only been in office for 500 years, but he's not a politician and he's a good guy. Let me tell you who this is. This is an actor. Never been in the military. Never been a police officer. This guy is an actor. And he is an actor who plays on a bit role, It's not Sir Anthony Hopkins, obviously. He's not
Wait,
Brad
wait,
Pitt.
just stop.
Okay.
James King is a cop.
Yeah.
You're telling me he couldn't find a cop to get in front of a camera and say, James King is a cop.
Yeah, right. Well, listen, wait. Stay up here while I tell you what this guy is. This should tell you what kind of a joke we're dealing with. This guy on the screen is an actor
And his current role is playing an unnamed character on a TV show called SEAL Team 6. And it's about the SEAL team people. And he's right now filming in country somewhere in like Nevada, but it's supposed to be in country. And he's on an operation blowing up
Bad guys.
Osama bin Laden or something. And he is giving King this endorsement. Now, let me tell you, look what the mayor found. Did this come from Cameo? Well, let me tell you, this gentleman is on Cameo. But besides the fact that he is on Cameo, he is also a Daleville Police Reserve, okay, who does not work any time in Daleville because he lives in LA.
Is he from this area?
He was originally born in Indiana, but he currently lives in New York. His Wikipedia page says he lives between New York and LA because
I'll tell you how much it cost. It cost him a reserve badge for Daleville.
It cost King a badge, an ID, but let me tell you this. Let me find this here real quick. Let me pull this up here and give you.
It doesn't have to be itemized.
Yeah, right. Yes, that is exactly correct. Yes. Now, what's funny is this is a King endorsement video.
I am Justin Melnick.
But you notice they haven't listed that. If you pull this back, there's no listing, there's no markings of what this is. It doesn't say. So King's very careful. He's not lying in any way. King's not saying, "Oh, King is." This is theater of the mind, people. Theater of the mind. So this is Justin Melnick. All right. Let's look Justin Melnick up. And look, I'll be honest. I don't know this guy. I'm not hurting this guy. I'm not trying to bust this guy's balls. Like, I'm not trying to be mean to him or anything. I don't know anything. He's probably a good guy. I think he just got wrapped up into a crazy situation with a crazy person. Okay. That being James King. And now he's like, oh, I don't know what to do. Okay. So look at this. This is Justin Melnick. SEAL team. This guy's a badass. Look at him. He's not one of these guys. 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 He's like a bit actor. Okay. He's not, I don't think he's one of these people. Let's look at what this guy's IMDb, what is this thing called? IMDb says. Okay. Let's look. He is actor, additional crew producer. Okay. Let's go down here and look at, here's some of his photos. Oh, yeah. What's he known for? He's known for The Matter with Clark. He's known for Cupcakes. He's known for 5 Hacks. And he's known for SEAL Team. Okay. Let's go down here and look at, let's go down here.
He met King. He met King on the 5 Hacks.
What?
He met King on the 5 Hacks.
5 Hacks. I thought he met him on Cupcakes. Okay. Let's go down here and look at his personal details. Okay. Did you know, trivia, Justin is a lawfully, what is that? He's a lawfully sworn, Justin is a lawfully sworn in law enforcement officer with the Daleville PD in Indiana. And he is also the owner of Sworn In Canine Officer Dita the hair missile dog, both of which appear in the series SEAL Team. Dita and Melnick also now both appear in Justified, City Primeval. What is this? As Detroit PD's tactic leader and canine unit in the pilot episode of the show. Okay? Let's I want to go down here and get more from this person. Hold on. Let's find out. I want to get the actual thing. There's more information on this guy that I've seen someplace. So basically, in searching this dude up, this is what I found. This guy somehow became a reserve. Okay. He doesn't do to be a reserve in the state of Indiana, you have to keep up your training and you have to do at least 2 shifts a month. He doesn't do his shifts a month. So let me tell you what he does. He gives King little things like this, and for that, he gets to keep his Daleville police badge and a Daleville police ID. And I literally saw one place where, here's what this dude is. He's an actor. He's not a real cop. He's not the real military. He uses his police story to go sell his story as an actor to people in Hollywood who don't know anything about Daleville, and they probably think he's some big badass. Okay. Yeah, I don't understand what the deal was with the dog's name and all of that stuff. That's really weird. Okay. Let me see what I can find here. Yeah, right here. Look, this is his biography. Look, this is his biography. Okay. Look here. Tell me how gross this is. How the taxpayers of Daleville are okay with this guy using this Daleville police car and this Daleville badge here. Justin Melnick. He is also featured on cast photos. Justin Melnick is a police officer from Indiana and is and that's funny, and is the real owner of his canine partner. What else would he be? The reason, see, that's funny. That's like them telling on themselves. Justin Melnick is a police officer from Indiana, but he's the real owner of his dog. So is he a fake police officer, but the real owner of the dog? What? That's funky. Ooh, he was on The Price is Right. Come on down. This is, ladies and gentlemen, what we have going on here. These people are a joke. This is a joke. And this is, because of this, you're supposed to elect South Central LA, Daleville. Yeah, he's the Dita the hair missile dog. It's a Belgian Malinois, man. It's like any other Belgian Malinois. They're awesome dogs. I don't know what an actor needs with a trained narcotics dog. Henry County Sheriff once gave a badge to Gary Shirley, who was the baby daddy on the MTV Teen Mom Show. Let me tell you what I did. Let me tell you what we did. My time in law enforcement, We wrote Ted Nugent, Uncle Ted, and we got him to donate money for a narcotics dog, and he came down and we gave him a badge. That's badass. Ted Nugent is like a real person, okay? This Joker and the baby daddy thing is like, you know, I don't know. That makes sense. Yeah, he uses it to find the good dope. Stellinen, would you be willing to set up a live show where I could debate? Oh yeah, I'm gonna get to that. Might as well say it now. So, Webb has said this once before, and I'm gonna put this out there. I'm gonna do it for a short. Hold on, here we go. And in other news, as we've said once before, Ryan Webb, Delaware County Councilman, has offered that he would go on live face to face with any of the detractors, I would assume any candidates that are running against him, any supporters of those candidates, Orto, Grubbs, Charlize. I think Charlize said she would go on with you. Anyone that wants to go on live with Ryan Webb and have an adult discussion based around, I would like to try and keep it based on the issues affecting those of us in Delaware County and the role in the community. But it'd be a free for all. You guys are willing to do whatever. It would basically be a back and forth. We would try to keep a little bit of respectability and try to keep the show going on its tracks. But for anyone willing to have this, I don't know if it would be a debate, conversation, that is out there. We will put that out there. So I am willing to talk with both sides and try and navigate that. Basically, you would come on through the program. We would give you the link. You would be on. We would figure it out, and we could figure this out. Well, we could maybe even figure out a way to do a live show if you guys would be if both sides would be willing to do that. We would figure something out. We could figure something out. That rules me out. I don't live there. It's hard to tell lies about something. I don't almost bet my house that none of them will take this offer up. I don't think that. I mean, so far no one's took the offer up on the first round, but we'll have to see. We'll see what goes on there. Let me see here. Sproles is selling special deputy badges for $100,000. I heard a story like that one time. I heard a story just like that one time. Didn't Ted shit his pants to get out of going to NAM? Would he have been old enough to go to Vietnam? I think he'd have been really close in there. Yeah, probably. I don't know. He might have. I don't know. I do not know. Yeah, I will let you know if I hear anything else from any of those people, or if anyone reaches out to me, or if anyone reaches out to you, please let me know and we'll figure that out. All right. So just back to this. I wanted to point this out to show you how insane all of this can get, but yet people are still unwilling. Finally tonight, after like the 100th time of asking the same question, sent Mike Jones wrote out a question and said, like, dude, tell me. I mean, I need to know what the deal is. Do you worship Mike? Do you worship James King? Are you what's the deal with what's happening there? Will you, is it possible that you could admit that he can make mistakes? And to that answer, Mike Jones simply said, I suppose he can make mistakes. You suppose he can make mistakes. That's insane. He can't actually say, yeah, he's human. He makes mistakes. Folks, if you're that invested, don't be that invested in Trump. Don't be that invested in Biden. Don't be that invested in Sproles. Don't be that invested in Tony Skinner. Don't be that invested in me and the show. You gotta have a head on your shoulders and be like, look, at any minute the train could come off the track and everything could go exactly lopsided and it not be a good thing. It's gotta be, you gotta be willing to have common sense and understand that people are fallible. People can make mistakes. And if you can't admit that the James King, the James King filing, if you can't admit, hey, he messed up here, you know what I would do? If I was Ryan Webb, or if I were Brand, if I were Amber or Troy or anyone else, I would print out an amended version of my CFA A1 form, and I would just simply add up all of my itemized numbers, and I'd put it up there on the board. And I'd take it to the clerk's office and say, here, I want to file this as my amended form. And see what they do. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. If it's good enough for King, it's good enough for me. Yeah, absolutely. I say sometimes the biggest mistake I make is getting out of bed. No kidding. I hear you. I've been there. It's just, you've got to be willing to look and say, man, something isn't right here. Like Brandon said, where are his... Now, listen, I filed the request for all of the documents. Someone else said, well, why aren't you looking at Brand's? Why aren't you putting... You're not fair. I don't have everybody else's. If you've noticed, folks, this was just a picture that was sent to me. I don't have the whole report. When I have all the reports, we will look at them. When I have them, we'll look at every single one of them page by page. I've already told you that. To end the show tonight, I want to go down and look at some emails that we received. So last night and into this morning, I sent the following. I sent a record request to Rick Spangler. I'd already sent last Friday a record request for all of the full campaign finance reports for James King, Stephen Brand, Sherry Riggin, Troy Ingram, Jessica Piper, Eugene Whitehead, Ryan Webb, Amber Green, David Williams, Bradley Bookout, Lori Jesse. Today, I sent a request saying, as well as all of those, I also want the campaign finance report for the Political Action Committee called Citizens for Transparency. So I am requesting that. When I go to pick these up in person, I'm also going to tell them that I want copies of the Democrats' filings and the Republicans' filings because they have to file too. So that is email number 1 I sent out. Next, I sent the following email to the Madison County Clerk's Office and the Madison County Attorney's Office. And I said, hello, Linda and Mary. Below, I am sending a records request as it pertains to election-related documents, specifically speaking, campaign finance reports. Because I am sending you this request pertaining to the election-related documents, I am also submitting the following important Indiana code, and then I put in parentheses, law. When preparing the records I am requesting, please take into account the following Indiana code. I will highlight in bold the important portions to take note of. Indiana Code 3945. The election division in each county election board shall make the reports and statements filed with them available for public inspection and copying, commencing as soon as practicable, but not later than the end of the second business day in which they were received. Okay. To note, the campaign finance records were due Friday, April 19th, 2024. I am requesting the records on Monday, April 22nd, 2024. Therefore, to comply with the law, the clerk's office shall make these records available to me no later than the end of business day on Tuesday, April 23rd, 2024, or sooner. Okay. Then I requested the following documents. All campaign finance reports from the January 1st, 2024 through April 12th, 2024 time period for the following candidates. Candidates for Commissioner District 2, Rick Gardner, Devin T. Norick, Ollie Dixon. Candidates for Commissioner District 3, John Richwine, Lisa Whitkemper-Rinker. Candidates for at-large, Carl Abel, James Abram, Jason Brizendine, Jonathan Culp, Christy Gabrowski, Scott Green, Jason Turner, Mikhail Vaughn, Robert Bailey, Rebecca Crooms, Stephen Holtsider, what's his name? Fred Reese, Adam Matston, Robert Glazbrooks, Catherine Callahan, and Todd Culp. Candidates for surveyor, Ken Kotzinski and Charles Shepard. So I asked for all of those and told them that they needed to have them to me no later than the end of business on Tuesday. So we'll see what happens there. Now, we have some records today that I need to bring to your attention. Well, some emails, rather. What is this? Okay. Here is what I received today. Let's see. Seven YouTube. Okay. First off, foremost, Rick Spangler told me that he's in receipt of my request and he will notify me when they are ready. If they're not ready by tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to be throwing a fit because he also has to have them ready to me within 2 business days. So, okay. Thank you, Rick. Okay. Next up, it looks like, all right, Heather Bailey. Okay, Heather Bailey let me know that Mary Rutherford retired in February, and she gave me the new email address to use, so that's fantastic. Okay. And let's see, I know I got more. Oh, okay, here we go. Rick Spangler sent me record at 2:36. All right, the requested reports will be ready for me to pick up Tuesday morning. So, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, tune in here tomorrow. We will have reports to go through line by line by line. Jackie, the only thing I can assume, ma'am, is King swore the actor in as a Daleville police reserve and provided him with, a badge. A badge. Yeah, that's the only thing I can assume because you can see him clear as day. You can see the guy clearly here in a Daleville police car and a Daleville sewn on patch on his shirt. That's, obviously he got that somehow. And King has been the only chief of police there since he's the chief of police now. And he's been the chief of police there since 2005 or 6. So yeah, I would say in answer to your question, I would like to see who funds the Lincoln Club Russ Willis holds, and the Friends of Madison County is how they funnel Republican money to Democrats. So are they? I will look them up and see if they're political action committees, and if they are, I'll pull their campaign finance too. If they're political action committees, we can pull their records. That's no problem. So, all right, back to the emails. So tomorrow's show, folks, ought to be a big show. Let's see here. Oh. What is this? So let me ask you this. Did we bet on whether or not I'm going to get the records from Madison County, these campaign records from Madison County? What's the bet if I'm going to get the election campaign reports or not? I forget what the ruling is on that from Cindy and Catherine. What's the bet, Cindy? I forget. Oh, you assholes. Yeah, because I've already got them. She sent them to me already. I've got them right now. I've actually got them right now as we speak. Here they are. As we speak, they're right here. I just want to show everybody that doesn't understand the James King situation. This is what it looks like. This is what an actual form looks like. This is the committee to elect Rick Gardner. His CFA 4 Schedule A1. This is what it looks like. $575. Michelle Daniels right here. Okay. Wes and Dana Likens, $500. Rick and Connie Gardner, $7,000 right here. Evan McMullen, $150. This is what an itemized sheet looks like, you toads. Expenditures.
Did they request him to file a large contribution form for that $7,000 donation?
I'm going to look and see.
Because he should have.
Yeah.
Within, what is it, 48 hours of getting it?
48 hours. And then here's another one. And here's another $8,885. Here is corporations. Here's the law firm. Here's this. Friends of Madison County. Oh, yep, it's a political action committee. So I will get theirs tomorrow. Report of receipts and expenditures of a political committee. Devin Norick. Okay. What the hell? Here's Micah Beckworth giving Rick Gardner some money. Oh. Dr. Abbott giving some money. Oh, this is to Nork. This is not Rick. Never mind. Okay, this is not Gardner. So, this is Micah Beckworth giving it to Devin. So, okay, this is not Rick anymore. Never mind. I take that back. This is not Rick. I'll have to print this out. I don't like going through it like this. Okay, here's Ollie Dixon. Oh my. Here's the Friends of John Richwine. Let's look at his amounts. What in the hell?
$12,000?
To who?
Is that what that says? Total? Oh, no. Oh, shit. I got to blow it up.
Where?
Okay. So total contributions. This is Rinker.
This is Lisa Rinker.
Okay. So she had 16,000. Can you go back up to Rich Mine's, his front page, his cover page? Which doesn't seem like a lot of money coming in for a county-wide commissioner seat. So he started with 3,000.
Yeah.
And he had 11,000.
Yeah.
And he spent $2,000 on the primary? What? That's all he spent on the primary.
That's what it looks like.
He's just going to win because he's who he is, right? That's
well. Can you tell us how much? Can you tell us? Does he have signs? He's been elected 8 terms. So does he have signs? Are they old signs? Has he bought signs? You guys in Madison County are going to have to tell us that. We don't know.
Yeah. He does not have many signs. So he's running on his name.
Yeah. He got 250 from McMullen.
And they're all
old.
old.
Likens.
So he hasn't replaced signs. If he doesn't need to campaign, then why is he collecting money?
Yeah.
And Cindy's corroborating that. Now, for comparison, because Rinker is running for commissioner too.
Okay, here's Rinker.
Okay, let me blow it back up again.
She had 300.
So she spent $9,000 on her campaign.
Yeah.
And in these local races where you really don't have a general election, that's what I would expect to see.
Yeah. Right.
Is expenditures like that.
Yeah.
If there's money left over, where does it go? Okay, so they can keep it.
Well, first of all, keep in mind that this. Keep in mind
they still have to finish the general too.
Well, well, no, hold on. So this period is from the 1st of the year through the 12th of April. Okay, so then, and the filing deadline ends at noon on the end of the business day on the Friday, the 12th of April. So then everything from midnight on the 13th of April through May 7th, there's still stuff that Rinker will have to spend money on. There's still stuff that they will all spend money on. So we won't see that stuff until in October. So we'll see the end of the expenditures in October. There's still a lot of shit to spend money on. That said, if they get through May and say she wins, okay, all right, if she wins and she's got money left over, she'll just keep it in her war chest. If she loses, she can still keep it in her war chest and she can run again and use that money in that race, or she can give it out to other campaign people. Now, people are saying that was stamped on the 16th. Yes.
That's fine.
Because the period ends on Friday the 12th. They are due 1 week later at noon on Friday the 19th. But they can be turned in. By Friday. They can be turned in at any point beforehand.
After the end of the
after the end of the period. So that's what's going on there.
His numbers just seem small to me. That's why I asked you to go back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Okay, so all right, so we see what's going on there. And if you look, she's like she gave herself a $6,000 raise or loan. She gave herself another $1,000, and that's what you tend to see in races like this. She gave herself another $1,000. People might say that doesn't look good. Well, it's just what happens in races like this. Okay, Vistaprint 4. Okay, debts owed. Okay, yeah. All right, this is Carl Abel. $0. Looks like 5,400.
Mayor, if they lose and they decide that they think that they're going to run for another office, they can keep the money in a campaign account. If they decide they're going to close out the campaign, they have to return the money. And the way that works is that you have to break it down by percentage of who.
Wait. What are you saying about returning it? If they're going to what?
Close out their campaign.
If they're going to,
they're going to close it out. They're not ever going to run again. They're closing out the campaign thing and all that.
I know very, very few people who's ever given money back. Generally, what they'll donate it off to other candidates.
They could give it out to other campaigns, which is fine.
Yeah.
Or they can return it to the people who donated to them according to whatever percentage.
Yeah.
If they're going to do that, they have to do it across the board. So if I donated 1% of what the campaign took in, then I get 1% of whatever's left back.
Yeah.
So there's only really the two options: return it to the donors or give it out to other campaigns. As long as they don't blow it all on cocaine and hookers. That's Stumblefoot there.
I figured that was Alpha or Stumblefoot. Okay, Jim Abram, $400 on his at-large race. That's a very inexpensive at-large race. Friends of Madison County gave him $400. That's amazing. Jason Brizendine, Wow, look at Brizendine, only $16.50. That's crazy. Huh. Oh, okay. The Culp election committee, Jonathan Culp, $3,023, and he spent $3,023. How much you want to bet that didn't happen? Okay. Christy Grabowski. Madison County Reagan Club. Isn't that the other one? What are the two clubs in Madison County? What are the two clubs in Madison County, Catherine or Cindy? And I'm going to break this down, and we're going to look at it in another show. I'm just speeding through it here real quickly.
Lincoln Club and Friends of Madison County are the two she's concerned about. She's pretty sure that the Reagan Club is the Tea Party.
Okay. Okay. Jason Turner. Zero money. Mikhail Vaughn. This will be interesting. Interesting. Mikhail Vaughn, 5,000. Mikhail Vaughn, 7,000. Okay. Rebecca. Steve. Fred Reese. Oh, Catherine. Oh, wait. Okay. Oh, look at that. Actual real life people gave Catherine money. Can you believe it? Holy crap.
I should have let her put me on there as a donor in kind.
In kind. Yes.
Give her an hourly rate and she can.
Yes. Yes. All right. Here's Todd Culp. He started out with $7,322.66. He got $1,500 in itemized, 0 in unitemized. Even the bad guys over here don't do what James King did. Friends in Madison County, of course. Wow, what is this surveyor? 25,000? This dude for surveyor? Oh my God. He gave himself $25,000 running for surveyor.
Is that one even contested?
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just used to Randolph County where nothing's contested. Sorry.
I know. And it's actually pretty contentious. Yeah, here's his opponent. Who, wow, the opponent raised 13,000. So yeah, he's his main donor. So that's the end of that. I'll look through that. I will also get a copy of them, of the two that you asked me to get a copy of, and we will break them down. I'll break them down. You're going on mouthwash tomorrow. Catherine, why don't we do this? Since you're going on mouthwash tomorrow, hold on, let me see if she sent me anything else. No, that's it. So, let me do this here. What am I filing in Madison County? I'm going to file for I'm going to file for the Friends of Madison County, the Lincoln Club. Is that correct?
Lincoln Club, Friends of Madison County, and Reagan Club.
Okay. Yeah. And so that's what we'll do. I'll request those. Madison County. So I will file the record request tomorrow for I'll pick up the stuff for Delaware County, but I will also file the record request for the Republicans and the Democrats. I will also file the Republicans and the Democrats in Madison, and I will also file for the Friends of Madison County, the Lincoln Club, and the Reagan Club tomorrow. And since you're going on mouthwash tomorrow, and since I have so much of Delaware counties to go on, are you going to be? Are you open on Wednesday, Catherine? Delta the missile dog. That's what she said. Okay, so why don't we plan on Wednesday, and we'll just have you come on the whole time on Wednesday, and we'll look through everything. Why don't we just set yours up for Wednesday? Campaign finance reports, and then Wednesday is we'll do that. And then yeah, I will send that to you. I'll send that off, and you can send that out to whoever you want to, and we'll go from there. So tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to look over the Delaware County. We'll look over Brand. We'll look over Ryan. We'll look over Amber. We'll look over Bookout. We'll look over all of Kings. I'm going to make it very clear to everybody why King is in the wrong. It's going to be very easy to do. Wednesday, we'll have the doctor on. We'll go from there. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. Hey, before you leave, do not forget, ladies and gentlemen, all we ask of you is, if you are so inclined, become a member. You can do it for like $2.99 a month or $6.99 a month or more if you want. But if you don't want to do that, the most we ask of you is to just click the like, hit the bell, and share the show with everyone you know. Most of you communicate with us, so that's all we can ask of you ever. Thank you guys for being here. Please spread the word, share the show, get the message out. Be back here tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern, because we're going to have a big show. You guys take care. God bless each and every one of you, and we will see you then tomorrow for episode 186. Goodbye.